Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Once again, Happy New Year. This is the second episode of the new year. Got another great returning podcast family guest coming up. She's been on the show multiple times. She already knows every time I send that back signal, she is here and ready to go. And but I'm glad to have her on to start the new year as well. So before we get started, hit my music. Let's get it. All right. Once again, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. Happy New Year 2026. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harding. Glad to be back after about a month off the podcast. It's got to enjoy the holidays, some time off and everything too. But we're back bigger, better than ever for 2026. Looking forward to this season, this year. Got a lot of great guests upcoming for the first couple of months. So I have one waiting, like I said, returning guest waiting in the wings. But before I bring her on, you can find the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it is Spotify, Apple, YouTube, BS3 Network, BS3 Live TV, BS3TVLive.com. You can follow there. You can get all the programs and shows on the website, and also we're on Roku, the Roku channel, BS3 Network. Download the app there. You can find all the shows on there. You can follow me on all the social media platforms. I'm Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. So I'm active on a couple of those. So just follow at Get the Real Deal, and also Courtney Harden on all those platforms. So let me bring in my returning guest, as I call her, podcast family. As I said, I send an invite and she's always down. We just lock in a date and everything too. So I wanted to bring her on. She is very well versed in the CrossFit space community. She's a participant. She's done CrossFit for so many years. Podcast as well, her YouTube channel. She's a competitor, news anchor. She does a little bit of everything. So, but let me bring in Amanda Harry. Welcome to the show. Really appreciate it.
Hi. Yeah. Glad to be back.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you too, as well.
Thank you. You too. I wonder how long can we say Happy New Year?
I know. I'm only gonna say until probably today. Probably. The reason why I said it now because of being back with the show. I'm saying, hey, it's the first couple episodes of the new year, and then after probably today, it's like, yeah, I may just say, hey, how's your new year? Hopefully you're having a good start to the new year, something like that.
I saw this bit with Larry David where he was like, after 3 days, that's it. That's the end. That's it. Somebody it's a little short, but
somebody did say that about Larry David, and they said, well, I'm gonna say it probably the whole month of January. I was like, that may be a little too long too.
But it's hard to figure out where that timeline really is.
Yeah, maybe the first week or two is fine, but I think after the second week, after the second week, everybody now is like, okay, it's the new year. We could keep it going. But how was your new year?
Work week still. So.
Yeah, the first week. Yeah, at the end of the week, maybe that might be it. The first full work week was this week. So, but how was your holidays and your new year?
It was good. I mostly worked. I went to Disney World with my sister and my niece, and that was before Christmas. And then I worked Christmas, worked New Year's, give other people off who have things to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I'm glad you had a little bit of fun at Disney World, and that's good. Yeah, mine was low key for the most part. I just came back from Orlando couple of days ago, work trip, so it was that was fun. Got a little bit of fun and a little bit of work done. So but back home, and as you said, now at the work week, so here we are and everything too. But I'm glad to always have you on. Like I said, you've been on a lot of times and many times. So anytime like I said, I hit you up, you're always ready to do this. So I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's get started. As you said, CrossFit new season 2026, their
Mhm.
20th season, getting
Yes.
ready to start. And you had a great episode on a couple of days ago. Actually, you broke down all of the some of the biggest storylines that
My
you're
opinion, biggest
yeah, absolutely. And
storylines.
we're gonna talk about a little bit of that too, and it adds some on. So everyone follow Amanda on her YouTube channel
Hmm.
as well. Like, subscribe, share, all those things as well. I am a subscriber. I always get the alerts and that she's got a new
Oh, thank
video.
you.
Yeah, so I get the alert. Oh, gotta see what the topic is and listen to it. So they're never long, 15, 20 minutes long,
Yeah.
if that, sometimes 10. So
Yep.
yeah, if you got 20 minutes of your time and you're into CrossFit and fitness, Amanda's one of the best in this space. So, but
Thank you.
yeah, for sure. But my friend, before we get into that, you were on CrossFit podcast
Yeah.
show recently, well, last year I guess, or a couple
It
month or
was
two
last
ago.
year. It
Yeah,
was
last year, literally, right? Literally last year,
in
and
December.
in December, so last month, and I love the interview, loved it, and
Thank you.
I've interviewed many times, so I knew a lot of the things you're talking about. But you guys were talking about the state of CrossFit and all that. But talk about how you got that that invite and able to be on that the CrossFit media podcast.
Yeah, they just reached out to me actually, which is pretty cool. And they said we would be interested in having you on, and I was, of course, like down to do it. I'm usually pretty open to,
Yeah,
helping create content in this space in whatever way I can. So if someone asks me to be on something and I have the time to do it, I usually say yes. I mean, being on the CrossFit podcast is, in my opinion, a big honor. I mean, I've followed CrossFit and followed the content coming out of headquarters since, 2014-ish, maybe 13, a long time. I've been following their
yeah.
content for a
Over
long
10
time.
years, over 10
Yeah.
years. Yes.
So to be asked to be on their content, I mean, that's an honor. Even though it's like changed over time, they've went through some different iterations of like the CrossFit podcast and it being gone and it being back. But, being asked by HQ to be a part of anything is an honor. So when they asked, I'm like, awesome. James Hobart, he's like, I've watched your open workout videos. I'm like, that's crazy. I've watched you work out at the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
Different levels, but,
Yeah, it's like a full
you know,
circle type moment
cool.
in a
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts.
That's cool that you're able, like you said, HQ asked you
Yeah. I'm
and
like,
you
okay.
got a chance and you're like, yeah, for
Yeah. Why would
sure,
I
I'm
say
gonna do
no?
this. When you need me, we'll pick a time and let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I love that you guys hit on a lot of different topics. As you said, you talk about open workouts,
Hmm.
state of CrossFit media, and a little bit of everything in your background and news and also your dream of owning an affiliate, which, like I said, I knew a lot of these things, but you always learn something new. So when like I
Yeah.
said, I saw you were on there, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to hear this. And it was a great chat. It was relatable, all those things. So congrats on that
Thanks.
opportunity.
And if I
And
can
again,
bring anyone in to watch, like that's always a good thing too.
yes,
Like I want more people to be exposed to the CrossFit podcast. They have a bunch of cool content on there, different people on there, different
yeah.
experiences in the CrossFit space. So if someone wanted to watch me and they watch more, that's like awesome. That's even better.
Yeah, I mean, and you have you have a voice in this space, and like I said, for such a long time, and like I said, respectable voice in the CrossFit space. It was good to see, like you said, and it helps, and even just get in for more fans for you too. Just like you said, just expand your content as
Hmm.
well. That somebody can say, hey, I want to follow now Amanda even later, more on her channel and he said just even for just CrossFit in the space of itself. So it's good to have that. You said you got that opportunity to do that. So, but let's talk about since we're talking about media, CrossFit
Hmm.
media. They said has changed over the years, and you've seen it change. And you're part of it as well. I think we talked about this last time. Different shows and there's
Yep.
different content is different. Different people in this space. There's there and everything too. But what do you think is the state of CrossFit media heading into now? Their 20th at the games, their 20th season. But where do you see the state of CrossFit media as it today and going moving forward?
I think it's growing, still growing again from when they sort of took a big step back. It is certainly not at its biggest. especially like
Yeah.
HQ media specifically. I mean, HQ doesn't even really have like a location like it used to have. Like they used to have a headquarters here in Santa Cruz, and they would bring athletes in to do workouts at that gym,
Yeah.
and they were just creating all of their own content in that space. That doesn't exist in the same way anymore. Although CrossFit is building up their media again, like relaunching these, like the podcast, that other CrossFit show with Chase Ingram. Like there's things that are growing, which is good. I mean, but HQ is not where it was once upon a time. But the opposite of that, like the other good thing that's come out of that, is that I feel like a lot of these smaller media groups have grown because there was no longer HQ that had this really dominant voice. Some of these other things formed to try to fill those gaps.
Yeah.
And now there's a lot more media in the space, and it's not just coming from one place. While I think that HQ needs to continue to build up their media presence, I think it is great that we've seen it expand beyond just HQ as the voice of CrossFit. So I think it's in a good place, an interesting place, a growing place still. But I think even though there was like, some hiccups along the way with HQ taking a step back and now coming back into it, I think it's long term going to be better to have more people in the media space other than just HQ dominating the narrative.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of and like I said, we talked about this before. So if you guys want to go back and listen to the previous shows I've done with Amanda, it's all on my channel and all that too. But there's a lot of, you said, a lot of CrossFit media and content creators that are putting a lot of good work in this space too. And you ever think of your because you said you have your YouTube channel, you said
Hmm.
you're a one woman band,
Yeah, just
and
as
you
it.
do, yep, just you're just like me. You do so much and everything too. And you do editing, you get your
Hmm.
own, your own topics. You talk about all
Yep.
your own things and
Produce
things
it
like that.
myself.
Producer, yeah, you're your producer. If you want guests, you book them. If you have
Yep.
guests, you ever thought about bringing, like, having your YouTube channel like on a network? You ever thought about that, or you kind of like where you are with this? Because I see a lot of YouTube channels and things like that. They have networks. They're out there.
Yep.
They build their own network or things like that. You ever thought about doing that and maybe having other people under your network or under your YouTube channel?
Yeah. I really like where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And because for me, it's not like for other people, like Savan just opened like a new network type
Yes.
thing. You
Yeah,
just
you did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like for someone like that makes a whole ton of sense, right? Like this is his career. This is how he makes his money, how he feeds his kids. Like totally makes sense to see like how can we make this as big as possible. For me, this is like a side thing and just like a thing
Right.
I really enjoy doing for fun. It's like a labor of love, does not pay any of my bills.
Right.
In
Yeah.
some way may create more bills. So,
Yes.
it's just fun. There's low pressure. It's a lot of like just sharing my thoughts in the space and getting to connect with people, which is awesome. It's almost like volunteer work, right? Like I do make a tiny bit off of like YouTube AdSense, but it's kind of more like volunteering and wanting to like be a part of this community and be a voice in the community and connect with people more so than how can I make it as big as humanly possible. Always nice for it to be big, not saying that like I don't subscribe. Like definitely come subscribe and
Yeah.
get in on the
Subscribe.
action, but I'm not looking to make it the biggest thing in the world, to have a million sponsorships. Respect people who do that. Like if that's like if you get your bag, get your money.
Yeah. Get the money.
Like
Yeah. Right. Right.
whatever you need to do, like whatever sponsorships, that's awesome. I just have other things, so that's just not like my place right now in the space. So I just like have my own little corner where I do my thing, and you know, I enjoy that. It's
Yeah,
small.
yeah, and you're right. It's more like independent,
Hmm.
and you said you're doing this because you love CrossFit and you love this, to have your voice heard. And they said, but you're a news anchor. That's the real job you do.
That's my real job.
That's your news.
Yeah.
Yeah, news reporter, anchor.
And
That's the real job. Right.
that makes it difficult to do like sponsorships. Like I can't do
Yes.
those. I can't get money from a sponsor. So that's not a thing that I even have the ability to do. Um, but like I don't feel like I'm missing that or like I wish I could do that. because I enjoy my job. I like that separation.
Right.
So, I just stick to my little corner of the internet for now.
Yeah, and you're doing big things on that, as well. As you said, you've been to the games
A
many
lot.
times. Oh yeah, as many times, and being a big part of it, as well. So yeah, it's tremendous what as you said, even as a cyclist. That's what I do with this podcast, same thing. It's yes, I would love for it to, as you said, get sponsors and become that this is my full-time thing. We'll keep working at it, but I love doing what I do as well, just like you did, like you said.
Yeah.
But I have a real job too. I have that's got to pay the bill. You're right. It's one of those things where, um, you said it can cause more bills and money.
Yeah, it costs more money
It costs more money because we travel for certain things and things
travel,
like that. Yeah,
equipment. Like there's
equipment.
so many things that cost
Yeah,
money, but I enjoy doing it. Like it's a hobby. It's something, yes, it's nice to get like a little bit of money where there are ways to get money, but like,
yeah,
it's more about connecting with the community and the fact that I really believe that CrossFit can change people's lives. Like I've been coaching now as well. I got my level 1 over the summer
yeah.
and
Yes,
I'm coaching
congrats.
at my affiliate. And I was working with a woman today. We have a 55 plus class that I was coaching. And she was talking about like how she's improved her hanging capability. That like
Mm,
this is only her 10th class or so. And at the beginning, she could barely hold like hang from a pull up bar for 5 seconds. So now she's doing like 10, 15, 20-second hangs and
wow.
like how that's changing her life as a 55 plus year old athlete. Like that's incredible. Like it gives people this ability to move, to have more freedoms, to live independently longer, and those are all great things. And that's what I believe this can do. Like it's awesome also to be able to do like really cool things like handstand walk and stuff like that. But those are the things that really like changing people's lives in big ways, is being able to hold yourself up on a pull-up bar. We are doing deadlifts today, learning how to pick things up from the ground so you don't get injured. Like these are really important things that CrossFit does. And I really want to make sure that I connect with people about that too, right? Like this is something that it's fun to watch the elite athletes and see like the pinnacle of the sport, but this is an amazing thing that we can all do in our gym, and we can do the workouts those athletes are doing, but scale them back and we can get the same intensity. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's about. You're right. You hit it around the head with the community. And that's what CrossFit
Yeah.
started out as, Yes, they're the elite athletes. We love watching them and seeing them and things like that. But
Seeing the
it's
pinnacle.
the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle. Yeah, that's the top. But it's all about, as you said, the community, and I think CrossFit's getting back to that. And at
Yeah.
the least they're definitely getting back to that. So, but all right, let's move into the actual CrossFit season, which is getting ready to start very soon, a couple of weeks. The open,
Yes.
yep, the signups and things like that, and
Sign-ups are like the 14th or 15th. It's
13th,
coming up this
15th.
week.
Yeah, yep, next week, and the CrossFit Games season, heading into their 20th season. That's a big storyline in itself.
Hmm.
And you said you just did an episode with some of your biggest storylines that you are looking forward to. So, talk a little bit about what are you looking forward to in this upcoming season. Some of the storylines of people that we should be looking out for.
Yeah, well, one thing I'll just mention right off the bat, kind of like what you just mentioned, is that the Open is coming up. It's at the end of February. You can start signing up next week. It's either the 14th or 15th on games.crossfit.com. And by the way, no one pays me or tells me to say this.
No, right.
This
It's
is
not a
all just like,
sponsor.
yeah, I just believe in this. And I also think that having a test once a year is a great metric. Even like
Mm,
it's not always going to be linear. You're not always going to see yourself improve, especially when you've been doing it as long as me. I think this will be my 12th open. Like you may see some fluctuations the wrong way, but it's great to get that feedback. And this is one of the few times that we get that feedback. It's relatively low barrier of entry. It's like a $20 entrance fee. And I really think the open is one of the best times for the community. Everyone's getting excited. Everyone's doing these workouts together. I'm doing the same workout as like someone in Tokyo on the
yep.
same day. That's like crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like that people across the world are all doing this same workout. So I think it's a really great opportunity for the community to like get together, to cheer each other on, to suffer together. You know, suffering breeds community. So we can all suffer together
Right.
and go through the same motions together. And I think that's pretty cool and totally unique to CrossFit. Like I'm a big basketball fan, but like I'm not, you know, hitting threes from the logo like Steph Curry. That's just not happening.
Yeah, right,
But
right.
but I am doing the same workout that like James Sprague and Jason Hopper and Tia Claire Toomey if she does it while pregnant. But you know what I mean? Like I'm doing the same workout that those elite athletes are doing, and that's pretty cool. So one of my big storylines is will the Open be able to see some growth this year? Because
Yeah.
we saw a backpedaling. We lost some
Yeah.
participation in
Some dip. Yeah, it was
2024
a dip. Yeah.
after, you know, there was a couple different things, but I think notably was Lazar Jukic's death at the CrossFit Games. There were some people that chose to sit out the season because of that. Completely understandable thing.
Yeah.
Emotions and grief are very complex, but I do think in general we're better together and we're better with like the support of a community. And I think the Open kind of like shows that, right? Like supporting the community, supporting the other people in your gym, getting their first pull-ups. Like those are like really awesome things to bring people together
Yep.
over like a common goal of fitness and health. So I think the Open's a really great opportunity to do that. It'll be interesting to see if we can improve upon the numbers from last year. We've never had 2 years down, I believe. Like it's never went down twice in a row. And we also had a lot of people that decided to de-affiliate. Right? There was a increase in affiliate fees, and so it's just interesting to see if we're going to still have the same number or an improvement in numbers. But I think there is a push for people to get involved in the Open. My gym is personally pushing the Open quite a bit, trying to get a lot of signups. I think my gym's trying to hit 300 people signed up for the Open.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a pretty significant number. And, you know, this is a number we can all contribute to, right? Like I talk about all these storylines, but this is one storyline that everyone who's involved in CrossFit can have a hand in shaping.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a huge storyline. You're right. I think it's one of the biggest because it's the first
Yep, it's the
storyline.
first.
See, the first one. But you hit it on the head with again with the Open and what it is like I said, it's a community to bring people together to do the same workouts at the same time. It's weekly for the
Yep.
first 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks. It's not
Usually
that
it's
long.
3 weeks. Yeah,
Three
it's 3 weeks.
workouts.
Yeah, yeah. And then like you said, someone that can do a pull up and they're able to do that and
People
just you
get their
said,
first pull-ups, they
yeah,
PR lifts, like it's
hmm
all really incredible. And
yeah,
usually, like as a coach, we try to scale for intensity in the gym. That we try to like have everyone have a similar, you know, output, like everyone's having a similar stimulus. But the Open's a little bit different. You're trying to challenge yourself. So if there's something you don't usually do, but you can do, like this is that one time of year that like maybe if you could safely do a weight, but it's going to be slow, try it anyway because it's for the Open score and an RX score is better than a scaled score. So just like give it a shot. If you're trying to get that first pull up and you're like, I'm gonna have to do all singles, well, this is the Open. So let's just try it. Let's just do the singles. Let's try to chip
yeah.
away. It's just a big deal to like get through that workout as prescribed if you can. So it's like it pushes people to try things they might not try under normal gym circumstances because it's a test. It's a once a year test.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Once a year, and you get a chance, like you said, to be with the community and doing, like you said, the
Suffer together.
same. Yeah. Yeah. Suffer together. Yes. Suffer together. So, yeah, that's one of the biggest storylines. Kind of hit on another one, as you said, the 20th CrossFit Games
Mm-hmm.
season. And looking forward to see what that's going to entail. I mean, the schedule's already out as well as back in California.
Back in California, right
Yeah,
here
back
down the street from me,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly. And then you're in
An
your
hour down the street.
yes, but it's in your neck of the woods. It's back there as
Yep.
well. So that's one of the biggest storylines. I'm interested to see what, as you said, with CrossFit Media, what they're going to do. I think I put that in one in the comments
Yeah.
of something of how much, because this is a big thing. It's a big deal.
It's a huge thing. It's
It,
the biggest part of the year. It's the
yeah,
games is like it's also a great advertisement for CrossFit. Seeing that on a big stage,
right,
will they be partnered with a TV deal again? Where they get some stuff on
right.
ESPN or CBS Sports like they've partnered with in the past? It's just and it's a great community feel, right? Like I meant the games when they were in Madison, like that whole like festival feel was huge. It brought so many people in. People loved
Yeah,
like camping out and, hanging out with people all week. It was like a whole celebration. This year we're all back together again, meaning like the age groups and the
the
adaptives all
adaptive. Yep,
together with,
yep.
it's in a different facility. It's like less than a mile away. We can walk. You can take an Uber. You can take a scooter. There's lots of
Yeah.
ways to get over
Hmm.
there. So you can get over there and you can watch. And it's all back together. And it's in California again, close to CrossFit's roots in Aromas and Santa Cruz. So it's going to be an exciting year. I hope that HQ really takes the opportunity to like pump it up and to excite people about it. I hope the fans and people who love CrossFit decide to support and get together, because this is how we keep it going and how we keep it growing is by supporting it in the open, supporting it in the games. Even if you can't make it out, watch it on YouTube, get those numbers up,
Yeah.
do what you can to help grow this and help share this methodology that changes lives with more people.
Yeah, and it's in San Jose, and you
San
said,
Jose.
yeah, 20th anniversary milestone. Like that's
Yep.
huge. And you're right. I think another thing you said though that's interesting is bringing all the divisions together. You said age group, adaptive,
Yep.
and teams, individual.
All in
Um,
San Jose.
it's
All
all
the
in
same
San Jose,
weekend
all the same
ish.
weekend. So it's a big deal. Big deal. You said 20th year of anything is a
Yeah.
huge deal because at that time people thought that CrossFit, how
Was
long was it going to
a
last?
fad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fad. Right, right. It's a niche sport, they'll say, and it's not gonna last that long. And now the 20 years, 20
CrossFit's been
years.
around
Uh,
longer, but
it's
20
been
years of the
longer.
CrossFit
20 years of the CrossFit
Games.
Games. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's helped, with other fitness
Yeah, it's changed
things,
lives. It's
change
got
lives for a
people off
lot of different.
medication.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people have lost
That's huge.
weight. Like
Right.
it's gotten people to play with their grandkids, to do all these things. Or like there are people in the adaptive division. Some of those are so interesting. So you listen to some of those people who had like accidents and lost some capabilities that they had previously, like people who have
Yeah,
become paralyzed and things like that. And CrossFit gave them a way to still compete in a sport, to use their bodies, to know that like they could still do lots of things. Like Kevin Ogar, somebody who became paralyzed later in life, and CrossFit, he still competes in CrossFit, still do well. I don't think he competes anymore, but like he did, like and
yeah,
CrossFit helped him in his recovery. So I think those are really cool stories. The adaptive is a great place to see. Those are divisions any of us could up in. That's the truth. So it's cool
yeah,
to see what's still capable. People are still capable. Like a lot of people are told they can't do things after certain things happen. And CrossFit seems to say, hey, let's see what you can do.
yeah,
How can we allow you to do something? Let's try to get you to do something. And I think that gives a lot of people like power back. And yeah,
yeah.
I think it's just a really great thing. So yeah, I'm
That
excited for
that
the
is
20th year. They'll probably go down to Aromas, the individuals. I think that's just a prediction. They haven't told us that. They haven't promised us that, but
they
I'm going with it.
Yeah, yeah, be on the lookout for more news and things
Yeah.
when it comes to that. But like I said, yeah, they really promoting it and making, they said, make it the biggest season as we can, that we've ever seen or had to. So hopefully they can still get a TV deal, get more sponsorships and things like that.
Yeah.
To see a couple other ones that you talk about. Let's talk about the actual games, the individual.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's talk about the women's first. I agree with
That's
you.
a
I
big
think
one.
we were talking. I think we were talking about this too the last time we spoke about, making it, hopefully being more wide open.
It's
Um,
pretty wide
it
open,
is
I would
very
say.
wide open now for sure with Tia Claire Toomey, or
She's not competing.
pregnant. She's not going to
She's
be not
yeah,
competing. She's pregnant with her second child.
yes. I
And
think she still wants to go for 10 though.
she did say that in her she did say that in her on her podcast or YouTube channel. She was
Yeah, she had a
saying she still
video
wants to
and
compete. She had a video saying, I still want to compete.
yeah, she still
So
and she said that like just like people talked about how people were a little upset that she was like breadcrumbing over the last
last
season and
year,
like not
yeah.
not telling them everything of what she was going to do. But I do think that she's being like she's pretty honest, pretty straightforward. Like
Yeah,
I still want to compete. That's how I feel right now before this baby is born. So we'll see if it happens. But
yeah,
I think she still can. We've seen her come back from pregnancy before.
yeah. Yeah,
Why?
came right back and got second at Rogue
Got
Invitational
second months after
months
having
of
her
that.
baby. It was like
Yeah,
5 months postpartum.
yeah. That's why she's the GOAT. That's why she's the
Yeah.
best ever.
She'll
And
be more than a year postpartum when the games comes
yeah,
next year,
yeah,
2027. Over a
2027. Yeah,
year.
yeah,
So
yeah. So I can see her. I mean, and she's such a high level champion competitor.
she's
Um,
so far ahead of the
for
field.
everybody else, yes. And but now it's like you said, it's so wide open now.
Yes.
Without her, more than likely Laura Horvath. I agree with you 100%. I think
I
she's
don't,
gonna do a
yeah.
WFP, and we'll
And
talk about them in a
Rogue,
little bit too. Rogue,
I think
yeah,
she took a pretty hard stand, and she just seems
yeah,
like somebody who has very strong beliefs, which is great.
yep.
Like, and it seems like she's someone, and it's fine to change your mind. Like, I totally believe it's fine to change your mind. We may see some people, like I think Pat Vellner might come back. Like, we may see some people change their mind and come back to the CrossFit game season. But Laura just feels like somebody who has very strong beliefs.
Yep.
And I just feel like she's going to stand on that. And like, good for her if she does that. And if she decides to come back in the CrossFit space, like, I would welcome her to come back.
Oh, absolutely. I think almost all fans will. I mean,
Yeah.
she's one of the best. Outside of Tia, she's probably the
Second best.
second best, and it's been proven. So,
I just don't think she's going to do it. But it could be
yeah,
a
I don't think
smart
so
move
either.
for her because I think that she'd be the favorite to
She'd
win.
be the favorite. She'd be the odds-on favorite to win. That for sure. But if we don't have them two,
Yes.
we alluded to how wide open it is. Now you have. Now I know all the women are thinking, okay, this is our shot to
This is
actually
their year.
get a year. It's almost kind of like when I used to say when Serena Williams was either when she was pregnant and missed a year or was getting older and was
Yeah,
not as
yeah.
dominant. Like this is your
This is your time.
chance. This is your
Like,
chance because it was always Serena versus the field. It was now it's Tia
yeah,
versus the field
100%.
as well, and a lot of people took Tia, or you would think,
Well,
oh,
the
you take the
field
field.
couldn't do it.
The field couldn't do it. Right. So Tia's in that level. So okay, so you got that. So okay, so a lot of names, Lucy Campbell,
Yes. Which is
er,
crazy because I think like a year ago today,
yeah,
Lucy Campbell, it would have been crazy to say Lucy Campbell's name.
right, yes,
It was the
absolutely,
like end of January when Wadapalooza happened that we were like, wow, we really got to take notice. And I
yep,
had her in my athletes to watch, not to win, obviously,
yeah,
because she was coming back from a major injury that she thought was
major
going to
injury, major hip
take
wrist
her
injury,
career.
yeah, yeah,
And then she won it. And like now, a year later, we're like, Lucy Campbell, front runner
podiums,
to win the CrossFit Games.
yeah, podium, yeah. So she's been a
She finished
force,
second. She only
yeah.
lost to Tia.
Yeah, right, right.
That's
And that's nothing to be ashamed of because it's like,
no,
and she's a high competitor. Like just you can tell she has that dog in her. Like,
she
yeah, this
does.
could be it. So names like her, Alice Gazan,
Alex
uh,
Suzanne, yeah, she's recovered from her injury pretty well.
yeah,
And
she had a gruesome injury. Yeah,
she had a gruesome injury. She was like a
accident.
favorite to possibly push Tia a little bit.
Yep.
She didn't go to the games because of that car accident, and lucky that she competed at Rogue and she was able to podium there.
Yeah,
So
got second there behind
yeah,
Laura.
she's
So yeah,
looking good there.
yeah, and she was one
Emma
of the favorites.
Lawson,
Emma Lawson, she's another one dealing with injury last
but
season, but
she's looking better, and she
oh yeah, she's real
podiumed
good.
at WFP as
WP,
well.
yeah, looking really
So,
good. There's a lot of names. Ariel Low end, you can go there.
and some of them are really young, like
Yeah, very young.
Gazan and Lawson. Those are
Yeah,
like kids still.
yeah,
They're
yes, and yeah,
early
so
20s.
early 20s. Yeah, so I mean, it's
Olivia Kerstetter,
that's Kerstetter who third at the games this
20
past
years
season.
old, I think.
20 years old. Yeah, just turned 20, I believe.
Just
Yeah,
turned 20. She's just entering her 20s.
yeah,
She's already
yeah,
been on the podium at the CrossFit Games and wasn't 20 yet. She can't
yeah.
drink. She can't go
Right.
celebrate with a beer afterwards.
Right. At the
She's,
podium.
yeah,
So she's
not
another
allowed.
force. I mean, there's a lot of names. Maddie Sturt.
Maddie Sturt, yep.
Yeah, there's I mean Daniel Brand's always a threat.
Gabby
Um,
Magala.
Gabby McGow's coming back. I just saw. Yeah, she was at WFP
That was a
talking.
great
Yeah,
video.
the video of her.
You saw Training Think Tank's
Yeah, I saw
video.
her
It was
training
very
think tank. Yeah, I saw
good.
that. Yep,
Yeah.
saw that. And she was another one that was right on that verge. Like just she put him at 2024.
Yes.
But then you just
Second,
knew like second.
right?
Yeah, yeah. So
And
you
she looked
kind of
great at
she looked,
Rogue when she got injured. She
oh,
looked
she
like she
looked
could have
really good.
pushed Laura to win Rogue.
Yes, she looked really, really good there before the injury, and she re-injured and re-injured herself.
Yeah, she was injured,
Um,
I think in like February of last
February,
year.
yeah. So looking forward to her comeback. So yeah, a lot of I mean, there's so many other names, but a lot of names. So it just this field is so wide open, just like the
It's so
men.
wide open.
It's like on the men's side. We talked about
Yep.
how much the men have been so wide open. And my question is for we know like the Jason Hopper, the defending champion. You got James Sprague. Uh, he's podium anytime he's in a competition, he's
I
right there.
am truly so impressed with James Sprague, and
Me too.
I feel like he does get some credit now, but I mean, he's had like a hard road, sort of, because I don't think people were really expecting him to make make that jump from the teens to CrossFit games. That was even like a question. Then he did. And then people were like, he's not strong enough, probably won't do so great. Wins in 2024. Everyone's like, well, that's an asterisk, like that's not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
like a
people say
real
that.
win. But then
Yeah.
he comes back in 2025, podiums again,
Yep.
and he like podiums pretty much everywhere he competes. I mean, I guess I don't think he podiumed at Mayhem. I think he was fourth there. I think he might have been
Right.
fourth at Rogue. But like those aren't bad finishes.
Right. Right. And he won WFP. So
Yeah, like
it's
fourth might be his worst finish this past year.
right. Yeah.
And I don't think anyone else can say that. Like, yeah, Jason Hopper won the games, and yes, that is the biggest thing in my opinion. So sure, he is the champ. That's true. But being so consistent that you get no worse than fourth at every major competition, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that also says something because Jason didn't do that. Jeff Adler didn't do that.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's so many. Yeah, the men. We talked about the men, and it's. I think it's going to continue because it's such a so much great talent. Top
And they're
10,
young.
and they're young. Some of them are very young.
Some yeah, like
Um,
early 20s, like
yeah,
Dallin's early 20s, James
yep,
is still early
Dallin. Yeah,
20s,
yep,
Jason Hopper's like mid to late 20s, but there's a lot of and there's like up and coming young talent like Ty Jenkins and things like
yeah,
that.
yep. Yeah,
So
there's so many names, and you said Ricky Garrard, and
Ricky
he's a little
Garrard, yeah.
older, he's a little older. Roman
He's
Krinikov, so yeah.
I think Ricky's got that dog in him though.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I mean, second at the games, was the third at WFP.
Yep.
He was right up there in Rogue as well. I mean, yeah, he's another one that, and you knew when he lost the games.
He
I
was
think
pissed.
yeah, he was by 8
Because
points. He was really yeah. So yeah,
like
I can see
I
him.
love Roman. I think he's so fun. I don't know if he has that same dog that Ricky has.
Not anymore. I agree with that. I don't think he
Yeah.
has that anymore. I think 2-3 years ago, yes, he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you on that. I think he doesn't
And he has a
have.
different life. He's got like a kid, and I think that does
Yeah,
change your perspective on
mhm,
some things sometimes and how much you can train and stuff like that. Where
right.
Ricky is like, I think he's getting married, but other than that, not that's not a big thing. But it's not like having a child that takes all that time.
Yeah, he just wants
Like,
to win. He
like
wants
yeah,
to.
he has time to like he's got the lifestyle to be
Mhm,
able to be like, I want to win. That's his goal for 2026. He said that. He said that at the end of 2025, at the end of the games. Like, I want to
yep,
win 2026.
yep. And he's unproven, and he's got the right coaching, and he's got
Yeah.
the right mentality. Yeah, he's going to be a problem headed there.
And I think Jason, I just don't see Jason as a two-time in a row winner.
Right.
Prove me wrong. I
Yeah.
love being wrong in those ways. Like,
Right. Right.
show me that you're even better than I think you are.
They
Jason's a
did
great athlete. I just don't see him as a two-time
two
consecutive
time
winner.
back to back.
I think that's a tough thing to do. It's really hard, especially when we talked about how the men's field is very competitive right
Very
now. There's a
competitive.
lot of
Yeah.
men who are big threats. And Jason does not exactly like he's not a Rich Froning, right? Where he's got this big gap between him and the field or a Matt Fraser.
Yeah.
He's part of the field. He can win any given one, but he can also not win.
Yeah, he's a big part of the field for sure.
Yeah.
And we we talk about the other winners that have won and the previous winners, Jeff Adler,
Jeff
when
Adler, Justin
healthy,
Medeiros.
Justin
Like
Medeiros, yeah, and when healthy, Jeff Adler still might be the best in the field.
Jeff Adler's a good pick in any competition. I mean, he's won Rogue twice in a
Yep,
row,
yep.
twice consecutively.
Hmm.
And even though it's not the games and it's not ever going to be the games, and I don't think Rogue claims to be what the games is, but I do think that winning Rogue twice is a significant thing. That's a competition that people come to play. The
Yeah.
money there is real.
Yep. And
And
the best
that's like,
athletes go. And the best athletes
yeah,
go there. Yeah, for sure.
that's more than a year's salary, right? For like a lot of jobs. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like, that's enough to sustain yourself without even sponsorship money.
Right.
So
And
like
it's
you
an
come into that being like, I got to win this thing.
yeah, and it's an invitational, and they
Yeah.
take the best athletes and they compete, and they yeah, I love Rogue as well. So all right, no, I gotta let you go. I know it's almost 8 o'clock, but I guess got two more that we talked about a little bit. WFP, they finally had they completed their season,
Yes.
had their tour stops and had their final as well. What do you think is? Do you feel more athletes are going to I guess it's hard to say, but more athletes they're going to compete. They're going to get the best athletes still. So, they got the pro contracts and things like that. Does it have staying power? Do you believe? I know it's only been one season, but in your opinion, what do you think of WP and heading into the season 2?
I think there's definitely a season 2, right? Like I don't think we have any doubts that
Right.
there's going to be a second season, even though we don't have all of the information yet. We do know the final's going to be in Copenhagen. I believe there's going to be another tour stop in Indianapolis again. So we do know a couple things. I do think they're going to lose some of the big name athletes. We saw
Right.
some didn't even show up, right? Like
Yes.
Haley Adams never competed. So she's, not a part of that. Unless she does the qualifier, which I don't think she's going to spend her time dedicating to that.
Right.
We've seen some other big names like Austin Hatfield did not get a pro card. Jason Hopper, who we just talked about, did not get a
Didn't get
pro
the pro
card for
card. Yep.
next year. So there's a lot of athletes that have sort of fallen out of it already. So I do predict we're going to see less of the big names competing. A lot of them that even have qualified for a pro card have said, we need to see the schedule first.
Yeah.
I need to make sure this doesn't impact my CrossFit game season before I can commit to doing WFP. So we've obviously already lost some big names. I mentioned some of them. And I think there's going to be even more that qualified for a pro card who choose not to do it.
Yeah. I
Um,
agree.
but I think it could be a great opportunity to see some of these like older athletes or some of the newer athletes on both ends of that spectrum. Like you have Brooke Wells qualified for a pro card. She said she's done competing. Will she still take her pro card? Maybe, because maybe it's seen more as like an exhibition than it is, as a CrossFit Games. So maybe
Yeah.
she still competes. Some of the newer athletes who are just trying to get in on that challenger route, that's a great place for them to showcase themselves and compete against some high level athletes, especially because these certain athletes do have their pro cards. I'm sure we'll see some of those names who are major games competitors compete next year at WFP. There's a guaranteed minimum. That's money you can't really turn down
Right. Yeah.
for some people, right? Like a Jason Hopper who's won the CrossFit Games this year and hopes to win, I guess, again next year. I would assume because that's his goal. Doesn't need the WFP. Guaranteed minimum is less than he hopes to make at the CrossFit Games. But other athletes who are like, 20th place finishers at the CrossFit Games, that's a great place for them to make some extra money and guaranteed money.
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree with even someone like Sydney Wells,
Yeah,
did
on
very
the
good.
bubble.
Yeah, on the bubble, top 20, and if it says you don't make the games, that's something to lean towards is
You
the
have something to do.
WFP.
Your
Yes,
season doesn't have to
absolutely.
be over.
No, agreed. And yes, it's more opportunities for these the games athletes and everything too. But I was listening to I think Dallin and James
Hmm.
Sprague and was talking about what you just said about we need to see the schedule because it was a long season, especially like someone like those guys who were who competed in everything, competed in WFP,
Yes.
competed at the
And those
games and road, right?
those guys are different, right? Because those guys are like they have the games on their calendar.
Yes.
They pretty much assume like they train all year like they're going to make it. It's not like we're training to make the games, we're training to podium or win the games.
Yeah, right.
WFP could be great for athletes who are training to make the games. They're
Right.
not going there with the expectation of I want to win. Those athletes, they're not training for semifinals in the same way that some other athletes are. They're training for the games. Their season outlook is July,
The games.
August.
Yes. Yes.
Where other athletes whose season outlook is like, we're trying to get to May, and like if I make the games, then I train for the games. Those athletes, it's great to have WFP because you might not make the games, but at
Right.
least you have something else to fall back on that's has a guaranteed minimum money that has a good chance of making you money, even if you're a challenger, and then gets you in front of more eyes, more sponsors.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's what it, and I think if WFP after now, I think the next season, the second season, maybe it would change because you said it would be for athletes who don't really have a chance to make the games, or you said
Or
is
like on
on
the
that
bubble, they just
on the
don't know if they're
bubble,
gonna make it.
20th,
Like they have,
30th.
it's a
Yeah.
guarantee
Yes.
something.
Right. And that could be, they said that can be a league where they are able to compete there and really do well and everything too. Yes. If Laura Horvath is there, sure. But then you have a chance
But you
if
get to
you're, like I
test
said,
yourself
yeah, you can
against
test
her.
yourself and test yourself. Yes, absolutely. And then you're 25th or 30th at the games or on the bubble. If you don't make it, and you said that is a fallback option
Yeah,
with good money, with
with good
really good
money.
money,
Yeah.
with really good money. So
But
yeah,
it might not be as appealing to like the
right,
James Spragues if the
right.
timing doesn't match, the
Is that time
Justin
is a match? Yeah,
Medeiros.
yeah,
Like that's where you might see some fallout from some of these big names that just prioritize the game season, and that like, and they know that barring some crazy injury or some crazy penalty, like they expect to go to the CrossFit Games.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what how WFP how they announce the schedule and what it looks like and who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. That's going to be a big storyline. All right, last one. I know we're
Okay.
a little over time, but the last one we always get into these
Yeah, good chatting.
conversations. But yeah, it's very good. No, it's very good. But the CrossFit still new. They're still looking maybe for new owners, and that's going to be a big story. You talked about that on your channel
That is a
and
story.
everything too. Yes, that's probably the biggest story besides the 20th season, 20th
Yeah.
anniversary. But do you think CrossFit is it gonna be sold? Do you believe it will it be sold in 2026?
I think there's a very good chance that it's going to be sold in
Okay.
2026. If I had to put a bet on 2026, 2027, I would say 2026, but there's still a chance it might take longer than that. But I do think that this next year we should see the sale of CrossFit. There was a potential there for a second for it to be sold at the end of 2025. That's over.
Yeah.
Those people are out, I believe. But yeah, and I think also like when I go back to having a good open, I think having a good open also helps with the sale, helps get
Mm.
good
Right.
people in there, helps them get the money they want if they could show that this is like profitable and this was going to exist in 10 years time. Like that's why if we want to help with that sort of stuff, if we want to see the right ownership come in place, I think it's good to be involved.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. And I think because of the uncertainty, like because I know there's a lot of factors, and especially when something like this has to sell. You're talking about sponsorships, TV deals, the Open. You said that would be a good example of to get that ball rolling again. Yeah, I just been reading a lot saying it was going to be sold and then it wasn't, and then you said it just we don't know there was a group and there wasn't, and
Yeah.
so yeah, that's going to be a big and that's going to be one of the biggest storylines leading in this season if CrossFit will sell and because it's up for sale, so it's just
It
finding
is.
the right person and where whoever gets it where does it go from there? Do they continue with the games? Do they just be it more as an open affiliates? Is it what's going to happen? That's I think the right team or people is going to have to really see what it's going to do after this 20th season.
I think they really need to build on what's already special here, right? Like this community aspect that
Yeah,
we have, the open that leads into the CrossFit Games. Like it's the idea that anyone can be at the CrossFit Games. We're all starting with the same open. I think that's like such a special thing that you don't see in any other sport. That like anyone can try.
yeah,
We all start at the same. We all are at the starting line come February 26th or whatever it is. We're all there together, and some of us are going to make it all the way to San Jose, and most of us are not. But we all start together,
yep,
and
start
that's pretty
together.
cool. Every
Yep.
year it resets. So I think building upon these things that have like made it so successful and so special in the past and build and making it better and building even better things, but like looking at what has been really exciting, what people really like, and then just building upon that and not taking away the things that people already are enjoying and people stick around for.
Yeah, That's as they said. That's a big storyline, and see where that goes. With there's so many other storylines. We'll stop it there. We'll
We'll
keep
chat again.
we'll chat again for sure. We'll chat during the season as well. But Amanda, it's always a pleasure having you on. I really appreciate you and your time for doing this once again, and we'll talk again. But let everyone know what you got coming up in this season. I know, the Open and getting ready to
Yes.
go back to the games and things like that. What else you got coming up and where they can follow you and subscribe to your channel as well?
Yeah, my name is down here in the corner. You can find that. Go to Amanda Harry on YouTube, on Instagram. I don't really post as much stuff on Instagram, but you can follow me there. I mean, come join the party.
Yep.
I plan to do the open. I post my open videos very quickly after they're announced. I try to do them very early and show everybody, like, hey, here's what I did right, and here's what I did wrong, and here's how you can be better. So I
Yep.
try to give you all advice on that sort of stuff. And then I plan to be at NorCal Classic here in Sacramento, California, and I plan to be at the CrossFit Games in San Jose, California. So a whole
Yeah.
season of stuff to do.
Right into California. And I know you said
All in
something
California.
about you wanted to try to highlight some of the younger athletes too. I know you said that
Yeah,
that might be a
yeah,
plan of something different that we haven't really
yeah,
seen and highlight. I know you were talking about something like that before.
yeah. James Hobart was asking me like something I would like to do at the games that I haven't had the opportunity to. And if I ever decided to take the avenue of like profiling one athlete, I would love to
Yeah.
profile somebody who's new to the games, who's like seeing it all for the first time. And I think a lot of those athletes, like, it's hard to take it all in while you're in it. So I think it'd be really cool to like capture it for that athlete for that first time, to even like, give them an opportunity to talk about it in the moment and have those like memories captured, because
Yeah.
that's a unique experience
That'd be
and a
cool. That'd
special
be
one.
cool to be able to profile one or two athletes, even just one.
Yeah,
Be kind of like the Buttery Bros or something
yeah,
like that
yeah.
when but
They usually pick a couple
yeah,
athletes
quick
and
athletes
tell
and they
their
highlight them.
stories.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I look forward to that. But yes, we would be talking soon. Like I said, really enjoy you all the time, and thanks again. Best of luck with everything you got going on, and we'll talk soon.
yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks.